Hey, welcome everyone. So, if you are someone who belongs to the IT field, you must have heard about the word data scientist. You must have heard about that data scientists have one of the highest salary packages in the industry. But have you ever wondered who exactly is a data scientist, what they do, and how you can become one? This video is for that reason. So let's move into the next slide. So who exactly is a data scientist? Now, data scientists are analytical gurus. Now, I'm not going to read out the complete theoretical definition. Let me break this out in a business study on what exactly a data scientist does. So let's take a case study of exactly machine learning in practice, that is in the real life scenario. So there was a small cab company. What that cab company did was, let's take the example of Delhi. So let's create the map of Delhi. So let's believe that this is Delhi and let's divide them in different places. So let's divide Delhi in different places. So what I've done is, okay, so I've divided the region of Delhi in different places, different regions, small regions. That is small lower chunks. So let me change out the color. Okay, now what did a data scientist do was his job was to tell the cab driver which place they should be moving on when there's a high demand. So what I mean by this is, let's say now it's 6 o'clock and where should the cab driver should be moving on 7 o'clock to have the highest profit. So what did the data scientists do was they created a machine learning model and told that this is the place that the cab driver should be going on and he will be getting the maximum profit. One more way to look into this was there was a problem in the demand supply gap. So let's say in this region at 6 o'clock we need somewhere between 80 drivers, that is 80 rides are going on, but we are only providing 20 of them. So a data scientist will tell me that 60 more rides are to be needed in this particular region to create a maximum profit out of it. That is what a data scientist does. And just for the fact, the company that I am referring to right now is Uber. So you all of must have heard about Uber. It's quite big now and you must be using Uber in your day-to-day life. So that's one of the reasons why Uber has grown so much. Now, what exactly does a data scientist do? But before going into this, just know that there are a lot of data fields already there. It's not that you only have to become a data scientist. You can be many things. You can be a data engineer, you can be a data analyst, you can be a data scientist. There are so many fields in the data industry. So you can correlate with everything in whichever place you want to go in. Now, how does the data science process begins? So it begins with understanding the problem and domain. That will come from hardcore data analysis and statistics. If you have gone through older courses of data analysis and statistics, you must have known by now. What do I mean by this? So there should be understanding of the business problem that we are leading. So as of now, for the demand prediction model, the problem was that we have to minimize the demand supply gap. Then we had to collect out data. Collecting data is something from a data set. We have to check out all the past instances wherever the rides are happening, how many rides are happening, which area it's happening. Third process is one of the main process, which is again third and fourth. These two things takes the most time. Okay, so clean and process the data. So data is like quite raw and you have to clean it out. You have to do a lot of feature engineering, and at the end, you have to use your machine learning skills to build out the model. So this course is for people who want to learn about all of these. So understanding the problem and domain, collecting data, data and process data, exploring data and feature engineering, analyzing and predicting your ML model. Now, this is how the ML model should be looking out. So if we have our data, So we have our data, then we pass out our algorithm. It will be a machine learning algorithm which will predict out, like in 7 o'clock there will be so many, there are a bunch of number of writes are to be possible. And then we have predictors. Predictors are parameters which influence our result. We are going to go much deeper into all of these once we actually start with out. So that's exactly our AI system or our machine learning model. That's how the complete ecosystem of a data science project goes on. Now, so welcome to this machine learning course. In this machine learning course, we are going to learn a lot of things. Now, what exactly is machine learning, first of all, before jumping much deeper into it? Machine learning, from the name itself, making our machines smarter, making our machines learn from their old data. So we are going to feed in a lot of data and let our machines predict that what kind of results you are looking for. So let's say I am creating a cat and dog classifier. So I'll just tell my model, I'll give a photo of a cat or dog and tell him to predict out, is this a human, is this a cat, is this a dog, whatever it is. So that is how important machine learning can. Machine learning is one of the most sought after skill right now in the industry. And the package of an average data scientist who has an experience of less than 1 years is somewhere between 7 lakh. Now this can go up to 15 lakhs or 20 lakhs, 25 lakh, totally depends upon the company you're dealing with. So I still remember my first job when I was joining out in startup, and my first salary was around 7 LPA when I joined them as a data scientist. So that was a startup, but if you jump into a product based company, your salary will be jumping out to thrice or 5 times of what you are seeing right now on the screen. Now, there are some prerequisites that you need for this course. So if you have gone through our older courses, that is data analysis and statistics course for using Python, then you can just skip out a minute or two. Now, what you need is pandas. Pandas is used for our CSV files to create out, collect, or do feature engineering with our data. Again, we are going to learn about sklearn and all, but pandas is quite needed. We will be needing numpy. Numpy is for numerical operations. As you know, by default, Python does not provide us with array. Numpy gives us array. We need visualizations library. So there are quite 2, 3 libraries that you can look up to. So that's matplotlib. Let's write it out. Matplotlib, then you can learn about Seaborn or Plotly. So these are something that you can go through. We need statistics. That is a beginner level. You don't have to go much deeper. Anyhow, if you don't know much of statistics, that's completely okay. We are going to go through it. And then calculus at a very beginner level. You should be having a brief understanding of what is a matrix, what can a matrix multiplication do, what is dot product, all of that. So if you don't know statistics and calculus, that's completely okay. We are gonna have a breakthrough session each and after a while whenever we use it out. NumPy, pandas, and visualization libraries are something that you should be knowing. Not much, but at least somewhat where you see the code and you are able to break it out. So I will be also breaking out. So if you don't know, that's completely fine. Now, this course is a project-based approach course. What I mean by project-based approach course is for each and every algorithm that you learn in machine learning, you will be having a project of that particular algorithm. So if you are learning linear regression, logistic regression, SVM, let's say any other decision trees, each of the algorithms will be having a particular project in that algorithm. Okay, so that is our course for you. Now there are quite a few perks that should be making you more excited for this course. This course is for absolute beginners, so if you don't know anything, that is completely fine. Again, there are quite some prerequisites, so if you don't know them, that is also completely fine. We will have a go through session on that. Again, we will be teaching out all the important algorithms that you should be needing to start off. Now, this is a project-based approach. Each algorithm will be having a project based on that. Now, you will be taught out to how to write algorithms from the scratch. Now, if you're not someone who doesn't love maths, or you are not someone who is not looking for to jump into the research field, then you may skip this part. These are optional. These are people who want to break out the algorithm from the very scratch of it. Now, if you're someone who just want to apply it out, like you are the warrior of machine learning and you want to create out a project out of it, then this is course is also for you guys. So we are going to implement all the algorithms from sklearn library. Sklearn library provides us with all the algorithms predefined, so you don't have to code it again and again. You can just call out the libraries and you're good to go. So we are also going to learn about Kaggle. What exactly is a Kaggle? It's a competitive platform. We are going to discuss, we are going to take some data sets from there. And at the end, all of these are quite worthless if you don't get real life examples. If you look into the case study, so we are going to have some more stories like that. So if this does not make you excited, I don't know what will. So I'm very excited to start out this course. So let's get started. Let's get enrolled into this and let's get started with the very base of it. Thank you very much. Let's start with the next part where we introduce you machine learning in very much brief.